Renting a place can be a stressful experience, especially in a different language and a different country. But it doesn't have to be. Hi everyone, this is Katie and welcome to this lesson from Linguistico. In this lesson, we'll pretend that you've moved to another country and that you're looking for an apartment. This lesson is focused on vocabulary and what you'll need to learn to ask the important questions when finding somewhere to live. For example, does your apartment have appliances? Are utilities included? Are there roommates? As we learn our vocabulary, we'll form questions so that you can ask your landlord exactly what you need to know. Then later on in the lesson, we're going to use Craigslist, which is a classified website from the United States, to look for apartments and role play. All right, so Angel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, all right, so Angel, I think this is the first class that I've had with you. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm 27 years old. I'm from Mexico City, and my English is very basic.
Okay, excellent. So you're from Mexico City.
Yes.
Awesome. And how are you doing today?
Uh, well, just nothing.
Nothing.
Just rest.
Just resting. So you don't have any special Easter plans?
No,
No.
for today. No.
Me either. And then let's see, Anatoly also joined the conversation. So Anatoly, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
And so how are you doing, Anatoly?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And then Anatoly, do you have any special plans for Easter? Or are you just relaxing at home?
Just relaxing, no special.
Mm-hmm. Right. So right. So that's the same here. I'm just kind of relaxing on Easter. So what we're talking about in this lesson is renting a place in a foreign country. Because, for example, when I just moved to Brazil a month ago, and I realized that there was a lot of vocabulary that goes along with renting a place that I hadn't even thought about. So have either of you had to look for a place outside of your home country?
Um, uh,
Like Angel, have you ever had to find a place? Oh, sorry, find a place to live outside of Mexico?
to place to eat,
To live.
to live. No, I never live in another country.
Okay. And then, sorry guys for some of the noise. I'm trying to get, there's some people in my apartment. And Anatoly, have you ever had to find a place to live in another country?
Yes, but only hotels.
Oh, okay. So that's a little bit different then, if you're just staying in hotels. And where did you stay in a hotel? In what country?
In many countries. In Europe, almost in all countries in Europe.
Uh-huh. And so did you stay at a hotel or a hostel?
Hotel.
A hotel. And have you ever stayed at a hostel before?
No, no, I hadn't.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. There's a lot of people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, like I mentioned, we're gonna this lesson is a lot of vocabulary, so that you guys can form questions about what you're looking for in a place. So we can pretend that you have moved to the United States and you're looking for a place to live, and you need to think of what important questions to ask. Because have you ever had an experience where you're asking someone about a place to live, and maybe you forget to ask an important question, and so something bad happens? No, hopefully not.
No.
No, that's good. Because for me, I forgot to ask some questions when I was looking for a place to live, and it got into kind of some difficult situations where people didn't tell me important things that I needed to know. And then, just out of curiosity, too, do you live? Where do you live? Do you live with your family or with your friends, or what is your living situation like now?
Mm, can I start?
Yeah, go ahead, Anho.
I live with my brother in an apartment in the um, downtown.
Okay, excellent. So you live with your brother in an apartment downtown.
Yes.
Um, and was it difficult to find the apartment, or how
Uh,
did you find the apartment?
it was easy because our father,
Uh-huh.
uh, it's I don't know how to say. He sells apartments.
Yeah, you
I,
could say he's a realtor, or
uh,
and I'll write that down here too. He's a realtor, someone who is in real estate or selling houses, or you could also say that he is um, a landlord.
I think that it's a state agent or
Oh yes, you could also say that a real estate agent. Just
uh
another word for realtor.
okay.
Uh-huh. Right. So then you didn't have to ask all of the questions, right? You just had a connection with your father.
Yeah,
It makes
it was
things easier. Um, and then Anatoly, what is your living situation like?
I live with my family, with my wife, my two children, in apartments also. I am owner of these apartments. Uh,
Okay. Right. So you're actually so you own the apartment. You're not renting.
no.
Okay. So that's a little different. Right. So this lesson is kind of more about renting. So if you ever go to the United States for a longer time, like a semester, these will be good questions to ask. Right. So I'm going to show you guys a PowerPoint presentation. So let me see. All right. So can you guys see this?
yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So and I also can't see the chat box either. So if you write anything, I won't be able to see it. So just to let you guys know. Right, so first we have some vocabulary, and these are some different places that you can live. So we have a dorm, an apartment, a condo, and a house. And can you guys explain what the difference between these is, if you know?
Um, I don't understand the difference between apartment and a condo.
Okay, this I actually didn't either. I had to look this up on Google. Um, Anatoly, do you know the difference between an apartment and a condo?
Maybe condo, it is a, group of owners. Uh, I'm not sure because we have similar and with similar pronunciation word condo from condo, which means group of people who are owners of one house. They have a share of the house.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Anatoly. It has to do with who owns the property. So, for example, in a condo, everyone owns the property. So they put money down to be an owner of the place. Whereas in an apartment, you don't own the place. You have to
Mhm.
pay someone else rent every month.
Okay.
Huh? So yeah, I didn't know the difference between that either because I had heard the two words, but I didn't know what the difference was either. Um, and then what about a dorm? Who usually lives in a dorm?
Mm, maybe in some schools.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so school students. And
Hmm.
have either of you ever lived in a dorm?
No.
No. Have you, Anatoly?
Maybe when I was child, I spent time in the summer in camp,
Hmm.
summer camp, and I lived maybe a little similar to this picture.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot of summer camps will have dorms as well. And this is kind of a cultural thing about the United States too. So for example, when students go to college, a lot of times they will stay in a dorm. And usually there's more than one person per room. So you see there are 4 people in this dorm here. And if you guys could choose where you want to live, which place would you pick? A dorm, a condo, a house?
I think a condo.
A condo? And why do you think you would pick a condo, Angel?
Because you say uh, before you are the owner,
Hmm.
just because that.
Right. So you want to be the owner of your place. And
Yes.
Anatoly, which would you think you want to live in?
I choose the house if only in condition that transportation is good enough, because it is very important to reach for the short time, appropriate time, job from house.
Hmm. Right. So that's a very important thing is how much time you have to spend commuting, which is going from your house to work. So you would only want the house if it's close to where you work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way as well. Um, I would probably want a house too, but close to where I live. Or sorry, close to where I work. And Anatoly, what is your commute like now? Do you have a very long commute?
Mm, it takes almost 1 hour for me to commute to my job from my house.
Oh wow, that's quite a bit of time, yeah. And then
But
Anhem,
for Moscow, it is not a big deal because Moscow is very big city, and it is not a long time for Moscow.
all right. So in Moscow, it's kind of typical to have very long commutes.
Yes.
Mhm. And then Anhem, what about you? If you are studying or you are working, how long does it take you to go from your
Eh,
house or your apartment to your work?
It depends because my work it isn't in an office.
Uh-huh.
I work in many places, so sometimes it's near to home, and another times it's far,
Uh-huh.
more more than 4 hours from my house.
Oh,
Sometimes,
wow. It's more than 4 hours from your house?
yes, in another state in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. And what do you do in the
Uh,
other state?
I don't know how to say in English. I am a consultant of TI.
IT consultant?
Yes, IT
Uh-huh.
consultant.
Like for information technology,
Yes.
computer things? Ah, very interesting. Wow. Anatoly, I thought your commute was bad, and then I heard 4 hours. Oh, wow. Right. So yeah, that's an important thing to think about too, is your commute. And then if you're asking for a place to live, you probably want to say what type of place is it? Is it a dorm? Is it an apartment? Okay. And then so we also have some vocabulary. And then you guys, I'm pretty sure you know what rent is. Could you explain what that is? Anatoly, have you heard the word rent before?
Yes, rent when we borrow place for living. By the way, Hema joined us. Probably you can't see because you are
Okay.
presenting.
Right. Thank you for letting me know. Hama, can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
So today we're going to be talking about a place to live and some of the questions that we might want to ask when we're looking for a place to live in the United States. Okay, so
Okay.
so now we're just kind of going over vocabulary, and then we'll do a role-playing activity later on in the lesson.
Okay.
Okay. So Anatoly, you were explaining that it can be a verb, so when you borrow a place for a certain amount of time.
Yes.
Mhm. And it can also be the amount that you pay each month to stay in that place.
Yes.
So for example, the rent in Moscow, is it very high or is it low?
It is a high.
Uh, and then what about Angel, what is it like where you live?
The what?
The rent.
How much?
Is it high or low compared to other areas?
Okay. I think in the city is high.
hmm Right. Usually in the city it's very high. And then Hama, what is it like where you live? Is the rent high or low?
Mm, a little high, I guess.
Huh? And where do you live again?
I live with my father. Um, we have our own house.
Okay. And what country is it in?
I'm from Egypt.
Egypt, right. So you live with your family as well. And then, right, so like Angel and Anatoly mentioned, the rent is usually pretty high in big cities. And then do you guys know what utilities are? Have
No,
you heard that word before?
no.
No? Okay, so utility.
I think
Oh, go ahead, sorry. Oh, Hama?
um, uh, I think um, mm, it means something we get from like something we get from you using something else. Mm, it has many means, I guess.
Right, it does have some different meanings depending on what you're talking about. Anatoly, have you ever heard this word before in regards to looking for a place to live?
No, I didn't hear this word.
Okay, so utilities are things like electricity, water, gas, the internet, trash collection. All of those things are called utilities. So if we're asking someone a question, we probably want to say, are utilities included in the rent? Because sometimes the landlord or the person who owns the house will include the utilities in rent, and sometimes he will not. So, for example, Angel, in your brother's apartment, are the utilities included, or do you have to pay separate?
We have to pay separate.
Uh-huh. And then Anatoly, what is it like where you live?
We pay for it for one apartment together. It is in one bill.
Okay, so it's included in the rent.
Mhm.
And then Hama, what is it like where you live? Well, you live in a house, so it's kind of different then. You don't pay rent, do you?
Mm, no, I don't.
Uh-huh.
But in our country, usually they included.
hmm Right. So usually it is included in the United States too, but it kind of depends. Um, right. So you kind of just have to ask for that. Um, and then what are some questions that you guys can think with these vocabulary words that you can ask someone when you're looking for an apartment? For example, with rent, what's a question that you guys could ask about that?
How much are you paying?
Mhm.
Yes. How much is rent? Okay.
Right,
How
exactly.
much are you paying for rent? I was going to say.
Uh-huh. Right, very good, Anatoly. So you can say that. How much are you paying for rent? How much is the rent? And then what is a question that we can say with roommates?
Mm, mm,
Who is your
Hmm.
roommate?
Right, so like who is your roommate or are there roommates? How many roommates are there? Have any of you lived with a roommate before?
nope.
No, no one. Yeah,
Uh,
this.
I I
Yeah, me.
I lived.
Oh, so Anatoly, you lived with a roommate, and then Angel, did you say you lived with a roommate too?
When I studied in the university.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And so, Anatoly, were you living in an apartment then when you were at the university?
No, it was dormitory
Ah, so you're living in a dorm.
in dorm. Hmm.
Uh-huh. And so you had a roommate. And then who else said yes?
Sorry?
Was it
Me?
right?
Me too. I lived with a roommate when I last year when I was studying.
Hmm. Right. So this is really typical in colleges to live with a roommate. And how did you guys get along with your roommates? Did you get along well, or did you have problems with them?
Mm. For me, it was good.
Uh-huh. So you didn't have problems. What about, was it Anka
Mm,
that said
no,
yes?
I never live with roommates.
Oh, sorry, Hama then. Did you get along with your roommate?
It
Mm,
was good,
It
very
was
good, I guess. We become very close friends.
That's good. Right. So that's really nice because sometimes roommates can turn into very good friends, but sometimes there can be problems. So I'm glad that it went well for both of you guys. Okay. And then some of the rooms that we can have in a house that you might want to ask. Um, what's a question that you can ask about the rooms? What do you guys think?
mm,
How many rooms?
Right, exactly. So we can say how many bedrooms are there, or how many bathrooms are there, um, or is there a living room or a kitchen? And then some appliances and things too. Do you guys know what this is called right here? Can you see it?
yes, but I don't know.
You don't know. Anatoly or Hama, do you know?
Uh, what is the question?
Let me see, sorry, I had my mouse. What this is called right here.
How we can call sink?
See, the sink is right here. This is,
Sink. Yes, it is a cupboard. Or no, forgot this word.
how about
Google
bath?
Translate says it's a bathtub.
Right, exactly. Right, so this is a bathtub. And you might want to ask if there's a bathtub because some apartments only have showers, which
Mhm.
come out um, like the wall, and you have to stand up. So you might
Mhm.
want to ask if there's a bathtub. And then Anatoly, too, these right here are cupboards in the kitchen. Can you see where the arrow is pointing, or my little arrow here?
Yes.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, so
I
these are,
think it is a cupboard or entressols.
yeah, so these are what we usually call cupboards here. And then what is this right here?
Oven.
The oven, right. And then do you know what the top on the part is, or the top part is called? Where you can cook soup and things like that?
Maybe similar to bake. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is called a stove. So the stove is the top on the part, or sorry, the part on the top. And then you have the oven. And then what about this here? I think I heard it.
Fridge.
Oh, the fridge. Right. So you might want to ask a person if there is a fridge, an oven, a stove, because sometimes an apartment might not have these things. Okay. And then what are some things that you can also ask if your apartment has? You can ask if it has a washer to wash your clothes. Can you think of anything else?
TV?
Okay, TV, that's a good one. I didn't think about that one. Very good, Hama. If it has a TV, can you guys think of anything else?
Condition.
Air conditioner.
Yes, conditioner.
Right, that's very important in the summer. Anything else? Let's see. So we had air conditioning. What about a dishwasher? Or a dryer to put your clothes? Internet, housekeeping or cleaning service. So if someone comes in to clean, or if you have to clean yourself, and furniture. So, for example, when you guys were looking for your place to live, Anatolia and Angel, what did your apartment have? Did it have these things, or just some of them?
Some of them.
And so, what did it have, Anatoly? Did it have a washer?
No. I have internet, furniture. I think it is all from this list.
So you have everything. And then Angel, when you were looking for your apartment before you bought it, what did the apartment come with? Did it come with any of these things?
No, it comes with anything.
So it didn't come with anything.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you had to buy all of the furniture, and you also had to buy, we call these appliances, like your big machines at your house, like a washer
Exactly.
and a dryer. So you had to buy your furniture and your appliances.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Okay. Yeah, and so my apartment has all of these things except a dishwasher, and a washer and a dryer. Or we have a washer, but we don't have a dryer. And if you guys are looking for an apartment too, you could say, does it have furniture or is it furnished? Have you guys heard of this phrase before? Is it furnished?
No.
No. Yeah, so this is just to ask, this is the same thing as does it have furniture? Is it furnished? Okay. And some places might have some pieces of furniture, but not others. So we could say that a place might have a bed, a wardrobe. Have you seen these words? Yeah, some of these words are a little strange. A nightstand, which goes beside your bed, a desk, a dresser. So, Angel, you didn't have any of these when you moved in. Anatoly, did you have any of these pieces of furniture in your apartment, or did you have to buy all of your furniture?
I think I have all of these things.
And then, Hama, do you have all of these things in your house as well?
Yeah, I have all of them.
Okay, right. So sometimes your landlord might tell you, oh, well, we have a bed, but we don't have a desk, so you need to buy a desk, or you need to buy a dresser. Okay. Okay. And then we also want to know where a place is located. So we could say it's close to the bus line, the supermarket, the shopping mall. And how important is location to all of you for where you live? What do you think?
For Moscow, it is very important. The most important thing is how close it to the subway station.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Right, so that's really important to be close to the subway line in Moscow.
Mhm.
Right, that makes sense because then you don't have to walk as much. And then Hama and Anha, what do you think? Um, how
Yeah,
important is location to you?
it's very important. In my case, I don't, well, I don't have and I don't want a car.
Uh-huh.
So it's very important to me. My house is close to bus stations and subway,
Uh-huh.
and it's very, very important.
Right, so it's important for the transportation so that you're close to public transportation. And then
Yes.
Hama, what do you think? Um, is location important to you? Hama, can you hear me?
Well, it's quite. Yeah, I can hear you.
So what do you think about location?
It's a little far away from. It's little far away from important places. I think my dad chose this place or this location because it's so quiet.
Hmm. Right, so that's a good thing sometimes. If you're farther away, things are kind of quieter and more relaxed. But then if you're closer in the city, it's more convenient, but it might be noisier. So do you guys think that it's more important to live farther away in a nicer place or to live closer in kind of a noisier place that you might not like as much? Which would you rather do?
Mhm. It is important to find a good balance. Uh, Difficult to answer for this question. Maybe
Hmm.
if the silent place is it could be better if we have appropriate time to commute for job.
Hmm. And then what do you guys think? Anha?
The same as Anatoly.
Uh-huh.
Uh, we need to find a place who is balanced between noise and distance
Hmm.
to work. Yes, it's important
Right. I think
to be near to the job.
right. It's important to be near your job. And then Hama, what do you think? Would you rather live? You said that you live somewhere that's kind of far away and quiet. Do you prefer that, or would you rather live closer to everything but have it be a little bit noisier?
I think I'd like to live away from all of this. I like to live in a quiet place. I don't need most of these things. So really, I want to live in a quiet place.
Uh-huh. Right. So you would rather have a longer commute but live in a quieter place. I think I would too. Okay, so very good, guys. And so, for example, here, this is a city close to where I live in the United States. And you guys can see that it's close to, well, first of all, what part of town is this in? You guys can see here,
Mhm.
downtown. And what are some things that it's close to?
Close to river.
It's close to the river. What else?
Close to Columbus Museum of Art.
Right, so it's close to the art museum. There's another thing it's close to.
Columbus State Community College.
Right, so it's also close to the college. So like we were kind of mentioning before, if you find a place downtown, it's usually close to a lot of different things, but what's the one big disadvantage of a place downtown? Usually the rent is what? High or low? What do you guys think? If you have a place, for example, in New York City and it's in downtown, do you think the rent is high or low?
High.
High, right. So that's one of the
Yeah,
problems.
high.
Yeah, so that's one of the problems. Even though downtown is very close to everything, the rent can be very expensive. Okay, so just to kind of review our vocab before we do our role playing, Anatoly, can you read the first sentence and fill it in?
Each month you have to pay rent.
Exactly. And then Angel, the next one.
I forget the word. It isn't owner. It's lord. The
You're close. Can any of you other guys remember? The landlord.
A landlord, yes.
Okay, the landlord is the owner of the house.
Excellent. And then what types of places can you live? We said dorms. What else did we say?
House, apartment.
Exactly. And then utilities, what do those refer to?
To service like internet, gas.
Right, exactly. Very good, Angel. So services like internet, gas, water, etc. Okay, and then we'll skip this. And then one other thing that you guys might want to do is ask about the rules. Okay, so how would you guys turn this into a question? Pets are allowed. If you're trying to ask about it.
Do you allow pets?
Right, very good, Angel. Or we could say, are pets allowed? Or do you allow pets?
Okay.
Right, because if you look at a place and it says that something is allowed or permitted, it means that it's okay. If something is prohibited, it means that it is not okay. So if we say smoking is prohibited, what could our question be to ask the landlord? What could we say?
Is smoking prohibited?
Right, is smoking prohibited? Yeah, and guys too, if you're not talking, if you could mute your microphone so that it blocks out the background noise, that would be great. Yeah, thank you. All right, so before we start, we're going to play a little game. All right, so we have an example of an apartment listing on the right-hand side, and I want you guys to take turns and pick a number, and then make a question about the picture behind it. So for example, I could click 5, and here's a money sign. Okay, so what could I ask for this question? Because this is probably talking about rent.
Yeah.
So what question could I make?
How much
Is the rent?
is rent? Yes.
Right, so how much is rent? And then how much is rent? What does it say over here?
$750 per month.
Exactly. Right. So let's see, Angel, I guess you can go first if you want, and you can pick a number and then make a question.
Okay, the 7.
7. Okay, so this is a map. It's probably talking about location.
What maybe what is near to the apartment? Or
Uh-huh. Yeah, you could say what is near the apartment. Oops. Like, so for example, oh, can you guys hear me? There was some echo. Right, so is it close to schools? Is it close to um, the bus line or the subway line? Okay, very good. The next person, Khama?
Number 1.
Okay, number 1.
Okay. It's about mm, um, yeah, a kitchen with a dishwasher.
Uh-huh.
The question: do you have a dish machine or a dishwasher in your apartment?
Exactly, right. So do you have a dishwasher in your apartment? And over here, I forgot to write if they did or not, but we'll just say that there is a dishwasher. Anatoly?
Okay. Uh, uh, I can see kitchen with stove and over. We don't have the dishwasher.
Right. I forgot to write dishwasher. That should say oven too, not over. Right. So we can say that no, there is not a dishwasher. Yeah, so you guys can answer your questions as well. Okay, so Anatoly, you can pick a number and ask a question to your classmate.
Number 9.
Okay, number 9.
Is this apartment furnished?
Okay, is this apartment furnished? And what do you guys see? How would you answer? Okay, so we see up here that it says fully furnished apartment. So Anatoly asked, is the apartment furnished? So would we say yes or no?
yes, it's fully furnished apartment.
Exactly. And then what does fully furnished mean? Do you guys know?
Mm, fully fur it's completely furnished.
Yeah, exactly. I know it sounds kind of funny, right? So it means that it has all of the furniture. So it has a bed, it has a nightstand, it has everything. Okay, very good. Then Angel, is it your turn again?
Okay, number 6.
Okay, number 6.
Oh, um, mm, mm, are the kitchen equipped with stove and oven?
Excellent, very good. All right, so is the kitchen equipped with a stove and oven? And how would you guys answer?
Yes.
Anatoly or Hama, how would you answer that question?
Kitchen. It is a kitchen with stove and oven.
Right, so yes, it is equipped with both a stove and oven. Okay, and then whose turn is it? Is it Hama's turn or?
Yes.
Okay.
Ahmed?
Great.
Number
So
10.
number 10. Okay.
Oh, this one. This wash machine.
Right, so it's a washing machine or a washer. So what's a question that we could ask a landlord about that if we're looking into an apartment?
It's a variable washing machine.
Right, so is there a washing machine available? And let's see. And what would you guys say? Anatoly or Anhel, what does it say?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
So his question was, is there a washing machine available? And over here, what does it say? Does it say anything about a washing machine?
No.
No, so we would probably say yes or no.
No, I'm afraid we don't have it.
Right, exactly. Very good, Anatoly. Right, so it's like you guys are pretending to be the landlord when you're answering. So no, I'm sorry, we don't have a washing machine. Okay, and then Anatoly, your turn.
Number 3.
Okay, number 3.
Okay. Is holding pets available? Not sure about grammar construction.
Right, so that was on our slide before. So what's a question that we could ask about pets?
Are pets allowed?
Whoops, yeah, so are pets allowed? And what could we say about this one? What does it say?
Unfortunately not.
Right, so unfortunately not. And what could we say? Yeah. And then Hama, if you could mute your microphone. There we go. All right, so we could say no, they are not allowed, or what's the other word that we learned? They are do you guys remember?
Prohibited.
Very good, Anatoly. So we could say, no, I'm sorry, pets are prohibited. Okay. And then Anha?
Number 2.
Number 2.
The question is, is there allowed to smoke?
So we could say, is smoking, and then we could use one. Excuse me. So is smoking
Allowed?
Is smoking allowed? And what do you guys see? Is smoking allowed? Yes or no?
No.
No, right. So we would say no, smoking is not allowed. Hamid?
Yeah.
4 or 6?
4.
Okay, 4. All right, so this one?
Do you have air conditioner in your
Excellent.
apartment?
Okay, so do you have air conditioning in your apartment? And does it say anything about air conditioning here?
No.
No, so we would probably say what? Yes or no?
No. No, I don't have.
Right, so no, we don't have air conditioning. And then Anatoly, the last one?
Yeah.
Or no, we did this one already, didn't we? Number 6?
We did it about kitchen.
Right, I think we did this one already. So we've done all of these, right? Or maybe this one here. What's a question that we could ask about this?
Oops.
Is there oven? Do you have an oven in the kitchen?
Okay, we could say, do you have an oven in the kitchen? And
Oven, yes.
we would say yes. And then this machine down here, what is this? Where my arrow is.
Right?
Great, very good, a dryer. So we could say, do you have a dryer? And usually, if they don't have it here, it means that it is not available. Right, so these are some questions that you guys can ask when you are looking for an apartment. Okay, so now we're going to, I'm sorry guys. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Craigslist. And have any of you ever used Craigslist before?
What
Oh,
is it?
Ahmed, sorry, Ahmed, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sorry,
Yes,
okay,
but
sorry,
I don't
I didn't see
understand.
that you came into conversation, right? Because I had the PowerPoint full screen. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Right, so are you guys familiar with Craigslist, like you said?
Yeah, it's
Not.
okay.
It's okay. Great. So sometimes people look for apartments on Craigslist, and so where would you guys, if you could pick anywhere in the United States to live, what city would you like to live in?
Maybe New York.
Okay, New York. What about you guys? What's the city that you would like to live in?
Maybe in the place where Yellowstone, it is on the west and north, the
Okay,
United States. Don't remember state.
I think it's in the west, because Yellowstone, I think, is in Washington, but I have to double check. So you would want to live close to both.
Wyoming, maybe. Wyoming, maybe.
I think it's Washington, but I have to look it up.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's terrible. So you would like to live there, and then Angel, where would you like to live?
Uh, where am I want to live?
Right. So if you could pick anywhere in the United States, where would you choose to live? Would you choose to live in New York or Los Angeles? Can you hear me? Oh, you lost
Yes,
signal.
yes, we can hear you.
Okay. We'll check in with Angel in a couple seconds. I think he's having some technical issues. And then Hema, where would you like to live in the United States?
Well, I don't like. I don't want to live in United States, but if I have to, I I choose California.
Okay, so you would choose California. You don't want to live in the United States, but if you had to, you would choose California. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys some ads
Yeah.
from Craigslist. Let's see. All right, so um, let me screen share this really fast to show you guys. So you guys can see this, and we're going to look at housing. And so we're going to ask ourselves some questions and see, oops, no, that's not right. Sorry, here we go. To see some apartments in New York. Okay, so here are some apartments in New York. And what were some of the questions that we asked ourselves? How much was rent? How many bathrooms there were? How many bedrooms? So let's take a look at one of these. What do you guys think about this apartment here? Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I think it's very expensive.
Right, it's very expensive. How much is it?
Maybe 3,000 per month.
Right, maybe 3,000. I think it says here 2,700.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right, so it's very expensive. What neighborhood is it in? Can you guys see? I think it says.
There
I
is
think.
big park and garden, swimming pool, I think.
Right, so there's a park, a garden, a swimming pool. Um, what about, is it furnished?
Fully furnished area.
Right, so it's fully furnished. And what else does it have?
in the picture, next to the sink, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
There are a piece of stones. How do you say that in English?
Like right here?
No,
Oh,
another side.
this one right
Yes,
here. A
yes.
mortal, I think it's mortal and pest, or what is that called? A stone mortal, I think?
In Spanish, I know what it is, but in English, I don't know.
I think it's called a mortar and pestle, but I have to double check
Okay.
because we don't use them very often, so I can't remember what it's called, but I'll double check on that. And then, so it has a mortar and pestle. I think that's what it's called, but it sounds
Yeah,
funny.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm going
mortar and
to
pestle.
Google that. Mortal and pestle?
I know.
Mortal and pestle?
Yeah, I study something like that, so I know. It's
Okay.
mortar and pestle.
Right, that's what I thought too, but it sounded funny. Okay, so it has that mortar and pestle. What else does it have, guys? What does it have here? Oops.
stove.
Yeah, a stove and an oven. And then what is the bedroom like? Is it big? Is it small? What do you guys think?
Small room with big, how we can call it?
Bed? This right here?
Bed, yes, with big bed.
Right, so it's a small room with a big bed. So that apartment is kind of expensive, really expensive. So let's try to look at one that's a little cheaper. So you guys can see how expensive apartments are in New York. They are much more expensive than other places in the United States.
Is that a monthly rent?
Yes, it's a monthly rent.
Okay.
Can you guys believe it? It's crazy. And then, so what about this one? How much is this one here? Can you guys see the price?
Yes.
Yes, $765 for a month. One bedroom.
So it has one bedroom, and then let's see. It's kind of, it doesn't say anything else. Let's see what the pictures have. Oh, what does it have here?
Dryer.
Uh-huh. A dryer and a,
Washer?
yeah, and a washer or a washing machine. Okay, so it has a dryer and a washing machine. And what about pets?
Dogs are okay. Cats are okay. Woof?
Yeah, woof is the sound that a dog makes
Oh,
in English.
poor.
Cat.
So are pets allowed?
No.
Let's see, it says cats are okay.
Only
Okay,
cats
yeah.
and dogs.
Right, only cats and dogs, right? It doesn't say about other pets. So cats and dogs are allowed. And then let's see if there's another picture. Yeah, so what do you guys think about this apartment compared to the last apartment that we saw?
I prefer this one.
You prefer this one, and why do you prefer this one on his?
Mm, mm, I don't know how to say. It's more comfortable to me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so it's more comfortable.
For me.
Mm-hmm. What about the other people? What do you guys think? Do you prefer this apartment or the other one?
If payment fulfilled somebody else, I'd prefer the big one. For my own money, maybe
Uh-huh.
the small one.
Uh-huh. So you would prefer the big one, but only if someone else is paying for it. Very good.
Yeah.
And then Ahmed, which one would you prefer? This apartment or the last one that we saw? Oh, Ahmed, can you hear me?
Yes.
Or I think Ahmed's not in the conversation. Sorry, I think he must have left. Hema, which would you prefer, this apartment or the last one?
The last one.
The last one. Would you be willing to
Yeah.
pay that much more to have the other apartment?
Yeah. I guess I can.
Uh-huh. So you would rather pay more money but have a nicer place.
Yeah.
Right. I think I am the opposite because I would rather pay for a cheaper apartment and have more money to do other things. What do you guys think, Anatoly and Angel? Would you rather have an expensive apartment or a cheap apartment and have more money to do other things?
Yeah. I think in my situation, I no family. Bueno, I'm single. I
Uh-huh.
prefer a cheap apartment and spend money in another things.
Mhm. Right, exactly. And Anatoly, what do you think?
I think it is good idea to keep money for something
Hmm.
else.
Right, so sometimes it's good to save money for other things, right? Because that New York apartment is so expensive. The $3,000 one. Crazy. Okay, well, guys, we're out of time for today, but I want to thank you for coming to class and participating. Did you guys learn some new vocabulary today?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, awesome. All right, so thank you guys again, and have a happy Easter if you guys are celebrating. And you can also go to your dashboard and leave me feedback. So if you like this class or you didn't like this class, and rate it out of 5 stars. All right, so thank you guys for coming and have a nice day.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Katie.
All
Goodbye.
right, see
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Kathy,
Uh-huh.
I have a question. In the web page,
Uh-huh.
uh, I choose you to something like personal training or
Right, like a private session.
yes, but I don't know how to program it or what time
Okay.
you are available or I don't know.
I think that I have to program it. I just haven't had time in my schedule yet to do it because I just moved to Brazil, and so I'm teaching and my schedule is not very consistent yet.
Okay,
But usually on Sundays, I'm free. So if you would want to do it like a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, if
okay,
you're available then.
yes.
So
So what I need to do for confirm the schedule?
I don't think you have to do anything. I think that I just have to confirm it now. Um,
Okay,
yeah, I think it's on my end. But what I am available on Sunday after 9 o'clock in the morning. So
what
maybe
what time do you have now?
I can't do it now because I have to leave. because
No, no,
we're
no.
going to
No,
celebrate
I mean, sorry. What's your time? Or I mean, now for
Oh,
me
like,
it's 2 o'clock,
I
two
see,
and five.
sorry. Here in Brazil, it's 4:05.
Okay. And you say after 9 a.m. you are on Sundays available, right?
I think so. You can double check my availability. So what time would be good for you, do you think? Because I could do it next Saturday or next Sunday if that would work.
Yes. Maybe earlier than today, 1 hour earlier
Okay.
than today.
So that would
Yeah.
be 2 p.m. on my time.
Okay.
Okay, let me make myself a note and then I'll schedule that.
Okay. Me too.
All right, thanks, Angel.
Bueno.
All
Thank
right, see
you.
you. Have a nice Easter.
Ciao.
Ciao.